Welcome to Electronica and the end of a very long and busy week. I'm joined by Mike Skinner, of course, from US Tech. Nice to see you again, Mike.
Nice to see you as well, Trevor.
Okay. So, massive show. Biggest in its history, 16 halls. I don't know how many hundred exhibitors there are here. But what was the sentiment from you? What was your feedback from the show?
Well, the feedback comes from my feet first, and then it's all the way up to my shoulders at this point. I think I've walked like 20 miles. Yeah, like you said, it's the biggest ever. I read a press release earlier. There were over 3,000 exhibitors here, and they're expecting over 100,000 people by the end of the week, which is, I think, about 20% larger than last time in 2018.
Absolutely incredible. And yet, funny enough, the halls didn't look empty. You would think that spreading that number of people over a bigger area, the halls wouldn't be quite as busy.
Yeah, no, it was shoulder to shoulder, especially in the C area where all the component distributors are. It was absolutely packed. I think the I guess in A3 where the test and measurement hall is, where most of the capital equipment is the things that we're most familiar with, at least for US Tech. It saw fair traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start talking about the tech. You know, what did we see this week? What was your big takeaways?
I think big takeaways. A lot of the because the capital equipment guys are here, they're all waiting for next year for Productronica. Some of those the divisions of those companies have other parts here. I think new equipment we saw, like you mentioned earlier. One thing that's going to affect everybody is that this Nihon Superior patent on SN100C is running out next year. Yeah. So that's certainly a big development. But as far as new equipment, I think a lot of the capital equipment guys are waiting till next year.
Yeah, the SN100C patent is very significant. It runs out at the end of March, sorry. But the patent that they registered in 2008 actually patents the composition of the solder joint. So any solder joint made of tin, copper, nickel essentially is covered by this patent. They've got another one also that they're bringing out on that covers the composition of the solder bath in wave soldering. Now this is actually around an alloy they have that they use to reset the composition of the solder bath and stop the copper levels from rising essentially, but that's quite an interesting one too.
It is, I agree, yeah. I think there's a lot of other developments as well here because of the amount of EMS companies that are here. I was speaking with a few, certainly a huge industry driver right now is the automotive electronics segment. Right. So all these EMS guys are focusing on auto electronics. There's one company here even I spoke to today who said their move right now is to open a new plant in Guadalajara and focus specifically on automotive electronics. And the guy said, Jabil and Flex and all them can do everything, but we specifically are only going to do this.
You're only going to do automotive manufacture?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a very cool new inspection device from Omron, which is specifically for the LED side of automotive. These LED assemblies they use for car headlights and things like that, they have to be extremely accurate. And this new system uses metrology and measures down to plus or minus 10 micron, which is very accurate.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
So that was good. What else did we see? Of course, the other big thing here was the component supply issue. Did you come across that much?
Everybody's mentioning as far as the lead times on components are very long. It is obviously in the forefront of everybody's minds. I also heard here, just like we were speaking about a month ago at SMTA, there's still some issues with tariffs. Companies that are operating in the U.S. suddenly have to find other options for their components and as well for where they're assembling the boards before they ship them either into the U.S. or elsewhere around the world.
Right. Well, that's where I think that announcement last week from Aegis and Circuit Byte was very significant because Circuit Byte has tapped into basically the Arrows, the Avnets, the DigiKeys, and all the other big suppliers, and they're able to give you the availability and real-time price of these devices. So you put your BOM list in, and it tells you if it's available, when it's available, and today's price, which I think is amazing.
I agree, yeah. I mean, that's the next step. As soon as you have something in real time, it's an exponential leap over what there was before.
Right, okay. So, anyway, it wasn't short of new innovations here this week, Mike, and I want to thank you again for joining us, and safe trips back home.
Thank you very much, Trevor.